EMTs or former firefighters, or of course military. And this litigation is going on in Charleston, and essentially we've got our first responders and our military people who are exposed to forever chemicals, and the big PFAS manufacturers who are creating firefighting foam essentially exposed our first responders to these cancer-causing chemicals that essentially would bioaccumulate over their life. And now that they've retired, a lot of them are living here in Myrtle Beach. Now that they've retired, they're trying to enjoy their motorcycle, for instance. They're being diagnosed with cancer, and this is terrible. It's terrible stuff. So the municipalities have kind of settled. They've created a trust fund to kind of fund the municipal water supply cleanups. But the people who are really affected with this AFFF exposure through the firefighting foam.
Right.
So these bikers and they're bikers, but they could have been a biker there, but these former firefighters who are helping save people were out training. They have to train on how to put fires out. And so this Aqueous Film Forming Foam, that's what AFFF stands for, is basically just soaked in this PFAS forever chemical, right? And so they go and train, they hang up their gear, the next shift comes in, puts on the same gear, goes out and trains, and over time this stuff's being absorbed in their skin. It's being absorbed in the gear, which then they put the gear back on for service calls. It's more absorbed in their skin. They're breathing the toxic fumes that's coming in from it, and then over time these little particles will bioaccumulate, and it causes cancer.
What kind?
It's freaking ridiculous. So it causes a lot of it, but what's going to survive? There's six key injuries here that this litigation is going to support. So it's testicular cancer, kidney cancer, liver cancer, ulcerative colitis, thyroid cancer, and then thyroid disease, hypothyroidism. So if you were a
former firefighter, you trained in it, and you're developing those 6 key injuries, you probably have a PFAS claim with this AFFF litigation in Charleston. So we already represent several firefighters. We're investigating more of these, and it's scheduled. There's a trial scheduled next year in 2025, and so we're reaching out, especially when we have events like this, where we can kind of talk to people one-on-one instead of just blasting a TV ad or seeing a billboard. We could talk to them, and of course I'll talk to anybody, give them a free consultation if anybody thinks that themselves or a loved one were exposed to this. Could also have been the military. Could also been because a lot of military firefighters were trained with this same kind of equipment, right?
And it was used on military bases, and a lot of the old military bases are Superfund sites that they're all trying to clean up now. The government's trying to clean up now. It's already been designated by the EPA, and so if you work there, and maybe this could have been 20 years ago, you worked there, and now you're developing these health issues. If it's one of the 6 health issues, that's something we need to take a look at. Or if you're a closely associated person, so that would be like, sometimes firefighters will co-train with local EMS.
Right.
Same kind of deal. If I can prove a year of your exposure, and it doesn't have to be all in 1 year. It could be, 6 months I went and trained with this firefighting crew. Then you work for 4 more years, and then 6 more months later, you go and trained, and you can say, hey, I remember using that foam. That's a case we would definitely look into if you do have the target disease, target injuries. So it's terrible. And so there's about 24 companies. 3M and DuPont are the top 2 because they have the most market share.
Huh.
But there's all these different companies that are basically a conglomerate that's involved in this litigation. And we'll have to just talk to you, investigate your work history, see where you lived, where what location you were at. And
how long has it been in the foam? Forever?
Oh my God.
Foam's been created?
Yeah. And they knew about it. It's crazy.
So I think takeaway being, at least if you have any of those injuries, cancers, and you were exposed to the foam at all, give us a call.
Yeah, 100%.
Let us walk through. It's a detailed, I hear Justin on the phone all the time. It's a long questionnaire, figure out what you did, where you were, but it could definitely be caused by this.
Yeah, just remember it's a long road too, and it's not going to settle anytime soon. But if you these mass torts, when they close out, they settle. When everybody gets to the table and they start closing these claims out, if you don't have it filed, you're done. So we got to get your claim in and try to get you compensated. Because again, just like our motorcycle cases, you get one shot at it. When that settlement sheet's done or these litigations close out, there's nothing we can do. Generally, sometimes there may be a trust fund set up where you can do future claims will be ongoing, but
get it filed as soon as you think you may even possibly have a even hint of a case, and we will look at it. And it doesn't cost you anything. We look at it, and if it's a case, it's a case, and if it's not, we'll let you know. And
if you're unsure, just give us a call. It doesn't hurt to go through the questionnaire, talk to Justin about it, and find out if you should file a claim.
Yeah, and the good news is some of these aren't always close to home, I should say. We handle some cases where we have to co-counsel on the cases in Philadelphia. It's in New York. It's out in it's up in Chicago, but this one's actually in Charleston. So it's being ran through Charleston. It's local, and so we're able to help you. And again, the reason we're doing this, the Axemen, some of the war vets that organizations that we help, that they have members who were exposed to this, no doubt.
I mean, my dad's best friend, who was just here riding his bike with him yesterday, former firefighter, and I know, they were going around. He wanted to see all the firefighter events, clubs, biker firefighter bars. I know we've got one up by where I live, and so there's definitely a lot of overlap in this community. We have a lot of people in service, firefighting, EMTs, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. So getting back to motorcycles, that was my mass tort speech. So getting back to motorcycles again, I'm Justin Lovely. I'm here with Sarah Austin, Lovely Law Firm here, MyrtleBeachBikerLawyer.com. We're here at Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson. It's kind of dying down here, but there's still a pretty good crowd buying some stuff. Vendors are kind of down this year, but
hey, if you want to get something, it's not crowded at all. You got your pick of whatever you want.
This is actually the time to come. You got a good place to park, and
you park right up front. You come back here, get whatever you want. Take your time looking at everything. It's a good, at least for me, I'm like, I might go shopping after this.
Yeah, it's actually a good idea.
It's so crowded.
Yeah, it's actually a good idea. They got drinks out here. You can get you a beer out here, get you some water. They got a few food vendors. I see the snow cone guy out here, lemonade. Of course, we've got our brand ambassadors here giving you Lovely Law Firm swag. Come by and stop by. If you come by, we got people who say hi every year because they come see us every rally. We got some unique stuff out here again. You can learn about our recent motorcycle settlement that we just had that we're very proud of. We just had a $15 million motorcycle settlement, the largest reported in Horry County. And Sarah and I worked our ass off on that. Sarah really worked her ass off on it big time. And then, of course, my wife, law partner, boss, Amy Lawrence, she came through and helped us with some key issues there. But we learned some lessons with that case. And one of the things that we can apply to all motorcyclists, if it's a law firm that doesn't handle motorcycle cases, they're very, 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 very different. And one of the things is an issue we always have to have is biker prejudice, because a lot of people don't like motorcycles.
Right.
And what we did, especially in that case, to get a great result, we had to do what's called a focus group. And so, when you and I were coming up with what's going to be the theme, what's going to be the story of this case that's going to maximize the value for the biker, well, we came up with, hey, this is a great structure, this is a great story, let's do it this way. And then, you and I might bounce ideas at each other, but we're lawyers and we get blinders on our head, right?
Right.
And so what we do is we have focus groups, and so we basically present key parts of the case to people, you guys in the community, and
get their feedback,
right.
And sometimes it was really interesting, and it was kind of fun to present this case, especially to different groups of people, because I think we got something different from each group that we did, and really just took our legal analysis, our lawyer minds out of it, and was able to explain it in a way that was much more impactful, that I think really contributed to the settlement.
Right. And we were willing to do that, right? And we did it. It takes a lot of time to put these together. So we did 4 different ones, and we got feedback from each focus group. So it was really, really a cool thing to do. We do that on our bigger cases where we know it'll support the cost of that, because it takes a lot of time and effort to kind of do that. Because we're essentially putting on our case in chief with a jury, and so then we're getting feedback, we're making tweaks, and then we say, hey, this is what we think is going to be the theme, the storyline, the structure that's going to get this and benefit our motorcycle clients. Not just motorcycles, car wreck. We do it for all our cases. But I thought that was a key point. Another thing too is, with any kind of injury, any kind of case, you gotta show it. We live in a visual world. People have to see this. Have to see a video. They have to touch something. They have to have an exhibit. They have to see an animation or a recreation or an illustration. And so we got our medical illustrators involved as soon as possible to say, hey, really read these medical records. Look at these CT scans. Look at these X-rays, and put this in a visual form that will have the most impact to a focus group, to a jury, to a judge.
Right.
And so we worked on that. We worked on that with our experts, and then we got to make sure that our experts will say, yes, this is a complete and accurate representation.
Right. Talk to doctors that say, no, that's the right way to read that scan, right? Because we're lawyers, not doctors.
Right.
And it was interesting to see those scans kind of lit up in those visuals to see what went on. And regular people can't look at an MRI and see what that means. And so I think that was really impactful too.
Yeah. And we had a lot of, luckily, we had a lot of scans to go through that were we could recreate and put it in that visual form, and so that was a good way to do it too.
Yeah, and I think our clients too, credit to them they called us right away. I mean, almost the next day, as soon as they could. And we were really able to document what was going on in the hospital in that time, because if you see our client now, who's doing so much better, and in order to get this kind of settlement, we really have to take the judge, the jury, back to what it was like those beginning days. And so we were fortunate enough to get in there and help our clients document what they needed to document so that we could do that more effectively.
Yeah, so that's important, because here's what happens. People try to work cases on their own, or they can't make a decision, right? And you can't really blame them, because they don't know. People have never been through this. They don't know what to do, but evidence is lost. People move, forget things, witnesses leave. So we got to start our investigation as soon as possible. And in this particular case, if we didn't have our pictures made of a certain scene as soon as possible, we would have lost that evidence forever. You can lose it to weather. You can lose it to somebody trying to go back and erase stuff or fix things. Or very, very important to preserve all the evidence as quick as you possibly can.
That's not what you want to do when your loved one is injured in the hospital, but if you can think to call right away, that made all the difference in this case, was those first couple of weeks of investigating and figure out really what went wrong and what did we need to document, and where we could take it from there.
Right. Sorry, I'm hearing something in my ear. So, okay, I'm throwing off. Get us back on track.
It's pretty good.
What were we talking about? The benefits of
calling your lawyer right away, but also just key things that we took away from our $15 million settlement.
Yeah, okay.
What did you learn from it? I mean,
Yeah, we learned a lot. We learned a lot for sure. You got to get to really, really know what the client's going through. It's not just a file, and it's easy to read medical records and say, oh my God, this is terrible what happened. But no, when you really get to know the family of not just your client, but their immediate family, and you realize that this is not just an injury to our immediate client, it's an injury to the whole family. And just really, and then we have to articulate that, and that was part of the focus group work, and us going back and forth
and getting to know each family member individually, right? Because the injury to one person, that relationship with each person is different, and so getting to the crux of that. And I think that goes back to a lot of your point, Justin, about having a local lawyer. We will joke with our clients now that it's all over, but they were in our office almost every day while our client was in the hospital, just wanting to talk about things, wanting to plan things, helping us document things, and they were able just to stop by and talk to us at any time. And when you don't hire a local lawyer, you don't have that lawyer. I drove up to the scene the first day I got the call. You're not going to get that kind of investigation or that kind of support when you've got somebody who works far away.
Right. Another thing we did to add values, we got our experts involved. So if you try to handle it on your own, you're not going to know. When I say what Sarah says is not evidence, we have to have this from the at-fault driver, from your treating physicians, and then some things that need to be said and evidence that we need to prove a case and work a case's value up are so specific and specialized that you have to have an expert, okay? And so when we're talking about future meds, or we're talking about lost wages, or we're talking about going back to our brain injury discussion, detailed, intricate things that's going to add value, you have to hire those experts. And so one of the things we also did was we started hiring everybody that we knew to start working these files up. Because we knew when trial day come, we're going to be ready. We're going to have all these experts' opinions, and it's not going to be, hey, listen, don't listen to what Justin or Sarah's saying. Here's the evidence. Here's the proof. Here's these medical experts, these economic experts, these nurse experts, and then the case can kind of speak for itself. And when we do that and do that early, and then we got a proper investigation, and we've got a great client, and we've got a great client's family, and we've done focus groups,
we're 100% prepared. And when defense companies see that,
Insurance companies are afraid of preparedness, I think.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
And so I have no doubt that being prepared, ready to go at all aspects of this that representation. And in every case that we work, we work it the same way. We prepare for trial from day one. But when we do that front end work, the back end, I mean, you kind of get them, caught flat-footed, for lack of a better word. When I'm coaching my kids, they're caught flat-footed, we're going to score, right? And so that we were able to bring it home, and we're very, very excited for this. So we're pumped.
It's nice to see a happy ending. We see a lot of tragic cases. We talk about insurance and not having coverages and things like that. But when you do call quickly, and when you get the right local lawyer to work your case up, you're going to get a good result.
Right, 100%. So we're growing at the lovely law firm. We have offices in Myrtle Beach. We've got offices in Goose Creek, in Florence, and Conway. We're probably going to open a Columbia office by the end of this year. The beginning of next year. I think of this year. I got too much stuff going on.
Fast.
Yeah. We got to relax a little bit. But
I'm staying in Myrtle Beach.
Yeah, I know. We've got we're here back week, rest of the week. This rally's picking up. If you're deciding, hey, should I come on down, and you've seen us before, come on down. We got our swag here. Again, we're at Myrtle Beach Harley-Davidson. We're down at the Beaver Bar as well. I'll be with Biker Dad tomorrow at 10 a.m. Sarah, you done a great job today. Thanks for coming out. I know I took you away from your cases. I'm going to yell at you tomorrow, but you did a great job today.
So while my clients are looking for me, here I am.
Yeah. But guys, we're gonna sign off now. We've gone long enough. We're gonna try to enjoy and let this thing kind of die down here. But again, like and follow us on YouTube. We're on social media everywhere you consume your social media: Facebook, TikTok. Follow us everywhere. Instagram. I'm signing off. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Be safe.